Hi everyone, it's Professor Todd with a quick tutorial on how to use Purdue University's Online Writing Lab, or OWL, to cite your sources in MLA format on your bibliography. So I'm going to go over the two most common types of sources that I see in bibliographies, which are electronic sources, a page on a website, such as a CNN article or an article from Reuters, and the other type of common source, which is an article from an academic journal or peer-reviewed journal that you found through a database. So here are the ways that you cite those, and I'm going to kind of show you how to navigate OWL's MLA citation guide to show you where you will find these types of sources. So if we scroll down here, I'm on their main page, which I've linked in our class website. You'll find that we're on the MLA formatting and style guide. You have in-text citations, the basics, which will show you how to cite sources using in-text citations, like if you quote a source or provide statistics or data from a source. Then we're going to come down here to the Works Cited page, and we're going to scroll down to the electronic sources, because most of the sources that you are using are coming from websites. So I'm on this page, I'm going to scroll down to the basic citation for citing not an entire website, because typically you're not citing, like all of Reuters or all of CNN. You would be citing a page on a website, which might be a specific article on a website, such as a news site. So here, for an individual page on a website, you'll list the authors, followed by an indication of the specific page or article, the title of the article that you're referencing. And then you will follow this information with the information provided for the entire website above, which is the title of the website, the date that it was last updated or the date that it was published, the URL, and the date that you accessed it. So if we scroll down here, that would look a little something like this: author's last name, title of the article, website. Typically here you would provide the date, like the date that it was written. If there's not a date provided or an updated date, then you would skip that part, then provide the URL and the date that you access the article. So that's really it. A page on a website or an article that you find in an online news site, it's just author, article, website title, date of publication, URL, and date accessed. So pretty simple, straightforward type of citation. Where you have to provide a little bit more information is if you use an article from a scholarly journal that you get from a database. Now, there are two types of citations provided here. An article in an online scholarly journal, you may come across that, but more commonly, you will be using an article from an online database. So this is like when you go to UTC libraries databases and you search for an article and you find some journal articles from some peer-reviewed or academic journals and you're citing those in your bibliography. This is the type of citation format that you'll use. So this one, you have the author or authors, you have the title of the article, then you have the journal title that the article appears in. Then you have some additional information that helps your reader locate that particular article, and that is the volume and issue numbers for that journal, the date that it was published, and the page range where the article can be found. After that, you will include the database title, that is the database that you found this source, and then the DOI number, which is a reference number for journal articles and online articles. If you're unable to provide the DOI, you can use the URL as well. And then finally, the access date. So this type of citation requires a little bit more information than just a basic page on a website, but those are the two most common types of sources that you will be finding and using in your bibliography. So I wanted to show you how to access those on Purdue's OWL. A little note about access dates here. They're optional, and I and don't really have a preference. The only thing I will say is that whenever something is optional, like an access date, you need to be consistent about it. So in your bibliography, if you provide an access date for one source, you need to provide it for all. Or if you don't want to provide it for one source, then you shouldn't provide it for any. So as long as you're consistent, I'm not really picky about whether or not that is included. There are a variety of other types of sources up here, as you'll see. So if you come across anything else that you're citing, such as a book or a chapter from a book, or any other common types of sources, this might be like a podcast. These are all style guides that will show you how to do the formatting in the same way that I've just showed you for these two common types of sources. So I would recommend using Purdue University's online MLA guide because it is fairly comprehensive and it's consistently updated. But if you have another MLA guide, you're welcome to use that as well, as long as you are using the MLA 8 format. That is the current format that we are using. Okay, I hope this tutorial was helpful, and take care.